Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tequila Talks. And I have a very, 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 very special guest. Me! In honor of June, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, we're going to be having an amazing conversation today. And if anybody out there haven't met Anna, Anna, say hi to everybody. She put together some amazing questions that I don't know what they're going to be, but I'm sure they're amazing. Anna is part of the Jorge Flores team, and she's a client engagement specialist, class concierge, class jack of all trades. She's definitely been helping me a lot in this transition, so I appreciate you. But I'm ready to rock and roll when you're ready.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for being so open about a topic that, sometimes has a really negative stigma. Let's jump into it. So, George, you've always been a strong leader, but what does mental health mean to you personally, and how has your view of it evolved over time?
Well, mental health is very important to me. I wish I would have invested it in my early 20s, seeking therapy and seeking, more mental health help, if that makes sense. Especially with, right now with people going through things, and not just right now in general, people go through a lot of things that they don't like to talk about, or are not very open to talk to either a friend, a family member, or somebody, and a lot of people hold things in. And people tend to explode, when you can only hold so much in. Eventually, you're like a volcano. You end up exploding. It's very important to me because it gives me the opportunity to learn more about myself. My whole journey from childhood to now. One thing I do, like I said earlier, I wish I would have started at an early age. But definitely, I have zero regrets on starting late. And shout out to my therapist if he's watching. You guys are amazing. You guys have definitely helped me out a lot. And shout out to my other therapist, my first one, rest in peace. He unfortunately passed away in 2022, but he started changing my life. He was an angel sent, and he definitely helped me a lot. So, shout out to you, and
Therapy is important. Go to therapy, everyone.
absolutely, yes, and don't be ashamed.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of it, and nobody should be ashamed. Especially, in the Hispanic household. Well, what do you need a therapist for? I can this and that. You know what I mean? They have no idea. They don't understand. And they're professionals. So always seek professional help. Just to talk to somebody just about your journey.
Well said, well said. Were there moments in your journey where you ever felt like giving up? How did you pull yourself out of those dark spaces?
Absolutely. My journey of life has been a roller coaster, and guess what? I do not like roller coasters. You know what I mean? It's been challenging. A lot of lessons, a lot of up and downs. A lot of it is within time. You gotta have a lot of patience, especially when you're in dark times. I'm a big faith believer. I talk to God a lot. You gotta have strong spirituality, strong faith, and the dark times don't last forever. You gotta have faith that eventually things will get better. You gotta start working on yourself. You can't rely on other people to help you. You gotta help yourself. You gotta put yourself first, which is important. And that's been one of my struggles, to be honest, is I always put a lot of people first, and I put myself last. And people say, no, don't do that. Put yourself first. You always have to love yourself first. You always have to love yourself a lot, and how can you love somebody else if you don't love yourself? You know what I mean? But faith, journaling has helped me a lot. Writing things down, and like I said earlier, patience is key. You gotta relax, take deep breaths, meditate, listen to positive music. Actually, a book that's helped me a lot as well is The Secret. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the book The Secret. That has helped me a lot. I'm listening to it again the second time around. I want to listen to it as many times as possible so it can record in my head. But that's helped me a lot. Reading, meditation, faith, has taken me out of these dark moments, and now I'm just becoming the best version of myself. that I know I could be, and I'm looking to make not only myself proud, but the people around me.
All great suggestions, and we'll link the book down below. Um, how do you take care of your mental health now, especially working in a high pressure industry like mortgages?
That's an amazing question. Well, first therapy. Therapy has helped me a lot. It's a decision I made uh, several years ago, and I made a commitment for life. It's not just temporary until I get better and that's it, I give up. No, this is a lifelong commitment in therapy. Also, hitting the gym, that has helped me a lot. You got to not only work on your mental health, but you got to work on your physical health. That's very important. Diet. Diet is also very important. What you put in your body. Eating clean or eating as clean as possible. Putting a lot of protein, a lot of veggies in my body. And with this business that's been crazy, um, I have a passion for what I do. Even though it can be chaotic at times, but my passion is far superior than the chaos. So, me loving to talk to people, helping people, waking up in the morning and saying, all right, how many people am I going to help today? How many people am I going to talk to today? How many people's lives am I going to change today? And reading the reviews, I don't know if you had a chance to read all the reviews we've gotten in the last 24 hours. It's just amazing to read what people have to say about us. Yeah, that's a big motivating factor for me. I just love feedback. I love listening to feedback, hearing feedback on the job I do and the impact I make. So that definitely helps me a lot. But taking care of yourself in general helps a lot. I'm a wanderlust. I love to travel. That's my other passion is traveling. I love the ocean. I love water, so I love to be either in a pool, in a hot tub, on a jet ski, on a boat, swimming, anything like that. Things that make you happy. That have helped me a lot. To disconnect. Disconnecting is important. I know they say real estate's 24/7, but disconnecting is key. Having a balance because you're going to drive yourself insane if you're just working nonstop. You don't want to live to work. You want to work to live. So that's my motto.
Yeah, I've always said it takes a special type of person to be a loan officer. I don't know how you guys do it sometimes. Checking on your local loan officer.
Check in, give me a call, let me know.
How do you balance vulnerability and leadership, especially when your team looks to you for strength?
I mean that's another great question. I mean I try to be as open book as possible. The people that work around me know me on a personal level as well. Have been around me for a while. And I try to maintain the same person I am outside of work at work too. You know what I mean? I don't want to be different. I want to be the same silly, goofy, energized, positive person that I can possibly be. And I like to lead by example. If I tell somebody, hey, make 30, 50 calls a day that's going to make you successful, I'm going to be doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be that leader in the back that's like, go, go, go. I want to be that leader in the front that's leading the way with you guys. That's walking side by side. You know what I mean? So I'm still trying to figure out the leadership role as best as I can. It's not easy. It is definitely a challenge. I'm not gonna lie. But I know a lot of people definitely look up to me and to lead, and for everybody out there that I'm trying to lead, be patient with me. I am working on it. It's not as easy as people think. I am getting coached to be a better leader, to be a better loan officer, to be a better person, to be a better, everything in general. I have so many coaches in my life, and it's needed. You need to be coached by several different people, how to talk, how to not react, how to, man, there's so many things out there to better improve yourself. And it's never too late. I'm 46 years old, about to be 47, not too, in a couple of months. But the saying is never too late to improve yourself and focus on improving. Always, always focus on being a better version of yourself. And don't seek outside validation. Always, seek validation from the higher ups, God, or whoever, you look up to, and yourself. If you're definitely working on being a better version of yourself, you're going to do it.
Amen. We're all learning and growing. Can you share a moment where your mental health took priority over everything else and what you learned from that experience?
This year, 2025, that has definitely taught me a lot of lessons. Definitely, pretty much knocked me all the way down to the ground. I can't get lower than what transpired this year, and without getting into very detail, but yeah, he definitely is teaching me. And I don't know if the word unfortunate or fortunate that it took me 46 years to finally get it, to finally learn, to finally wake up and be like, I see what you're doing. I see the light. I see what you're trying to teach me, and the previous, I don't know, 45 years of my life, he was teaching me, but I wasn't learning. You know what I mean? So, my mental health definitely took priority. Unfortunately, from, me having to isolate myself to figure things out, to process things, to put things into perspective, to find clarity, to find understanding, to write everything down, everything that happened. The only way is up now. I can't get lower than what's happened, and it has brought me an extra motivation to not only be the better version of myself, but to grow my team, to grow the brand, to be the best version of George. That people know me as a certain character, funny, silly, great heart. I've heard it all in regards to what people think about me, but I want people to, think of me even as a better, like, man, who is this guy? You know what I mean? He's even better than who he was a year ago or a month ago or whatnot. And I want to inspire. My journey is, I want it to be filled with inspiration to other people that are struggling, that could be going through similar situations. And if I can get through it, you can. And I'm always a phone call away. So if anybody out there that wants to talk, wants to pick my brain or whatnot, I'm available. I'm not. There's no secret to getting out of a funk. You know what I mean? But it's putting in the work. It's having faith and believing in yourself is regaining that self confidence. I was lost, but regaining my worth, my self confidence is key. You know what I mean? God made you a particular way for a reason. Consider yourself special. You know what I mean? God doesn't make mistakes. So I definitely had to learn that the hard way, that I am worthy of everything. I am blessed with a lot of things. He's blessed me over my whole life and career. And there's nothing but blessings around me, and for that, I'm forever grateful, so that's why I'm trying to not only better myself, but inspire people to also take steps to better themselves and focus on their mental health, because, man, I see stats, I believe, for mental health, men's mental health awareness, I read that, there's a suicide for every minute of the day or every hour or something like that, or a day. It's a crazy stat that I read. I was like, wow, that's sad, and especially with men, because men are supposed to be soft. We're supposed to be like have no feelings. We're supposed to, just work and take care of the house, and we're supposed to be robots. We're not robots. We're human. We bleed just like you. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's very important to me, and focus on that. Make that a priority. If you're feeling down, hey, your friends will be there to support you. Hopefully, your job is there to support you. Your family is there to support you. If you're in a relationship, hopefully your partner's there to support you. You know what I mean? Focus on you first, and with time and patience, you'll get better.
Yeah, love definitely comes with from within, so you got to take care of yourself.
Hmm.
Um, Switching gears a little bit, let's talk about starting over. What triggered the need for a fresh start, both personally and professionally?
Like I said earlier, God, he broke me down completely. So it's a rebuild process for Jordan. So I'm rebuilding myself personally and professionally. Definitely wrote a lot. I journaled a lot. I put everything into perspective, everything that went wrong, what I did wrong. Accountability is huge. You gotta be definitely accountable. If you're not accountable for what you do, you're never gonna learn. You're never gonna change. But accountability is key. And I'm perfect. George is not Mr. Perfect. I have my flaws and I have my insecurities, and which I'm working on, and you're gonna always be working on yourself. Um, but what God did definitely has helped me have a better, like I said, better understanding, better clarity, and it's just way up now. It's just you gotta go up. And right now, rebuilding my team, rebuilding myself personally, reconnecting with friends, reconnecting with loved ones. Now, God brought me and my aunt together. She's 77 years old, and since my mom passed away, she's been struggling. And now, she is happier that I'm in her life. We talk on a regular basis. She tells me stories about me, my mom, my family, my background. She got her appetite back. Now she's eating, and now she feels a little happier, because she was in a deep depression. And, being around me on a regular basis has helped. So, the rebuilding process of Josito is in the works, and I am so excited about it.
You're on the come up for sure. Starting over and later in life isn't easy in any capacity. What fears did you have about hitting that reset button, and how did you face them?
Well, the first, the first part of the question is my age. I'm like, man, I want to start over again now at this age. Like, I should be thinking about retirement. I should be thinking about settling in Mexico on the beach with palm trees, the ocean. But it's okay. It's never too late. It's never too late to better yourself. It's never too late to succeed. A lot of successful businesses, companies that are well known, they started in their 40s, 50s, and are very successful. So it's never, never too late. A day above ground is a great day. So, if God gives you the opportunity to open your eyes and wake up in the morning, it's a day to be great. It's a day to be awesome, and it's another day to be the best version of self and succeed. So it's never too late. So, that's my mindset. I never, I used to say I'm too old for this, I'm too old for that. No, I'm not. I can see, I can hear, I can move, I can run. I'm healthy, so it's never too late.
Yeah, age is just a number.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Were there moments when rebuilding felt like failure instead of growth? How did you shift your mindset?
Yeah. When everything happened, my first thought is, man, I'm failing, or I failed. I mean, I hate to say this, but I was calling myself a loser. I was calling myself worthless. I was calling myself like a bum, and you know, I was just thinking nothing but negative. I was like, how could this happen now? And at this point in my life, how could this happen? Now, I've been doing a lot of great things. I've been helping a lot of people. I've been doing a lot of good things. Why is all this happening? But it took me probably a couple of months to really realize that, the first 30, 45 days were tough, were sleepless nights, poisoning my body, coping in ways people shouldn't cope, and asking God why. But with time, patience, faith, I started shifting my mindset. I started really thinking about uh, things and the lessons that God has given me. Reading, a lot of listening, a lot of YouTube University, audiobooks, close, confident friends that have been there for me, that have given me advice, my therapist, even some, I want to call them strangers, but people reaching out and giving me amazing feedback on my journey and how I'm inspiring. That's just adding fuel to me. That's all giving me more motivation to keep going. So, it's not easy. Life is not easy. There's challenges every day, every single day, but you gotta overcome them. You gotta have faith that, it's gonna be better than worse, and God has shown me, God has blessed me, um, so much that I am forever grateful. Sometimes I take a pause, take deep breaths, and just sit with the feeling and sit with what's around me and start counting my blessings. Like, oh my God, he's blessed me with an amazing career. He's blessed me with investment properties. He's given me amazing friends. It's just blessings amongst blessings. I'm like, why am I down? He's blessed me with so many things. Like, no, you know what I mean? Unfortunate things, bad happen, and it's part of life. But I know better things are coming, and I know me working on being the best version of myself is just an inspiration to me to wake up daily and just keep proving that to myself that I am and will be the best version of myself.
Amen. Yeah, I think perspective is everything. And if anybody knows George, his favorite thing to say is that he's blessed. There's always something to be thankful about. So, good mentality to have. How has this journey changed the way you lead and connect with your team?
I'm not doing a great job at the moment. I'm going to be completely transparent and honest just because everything that has transpired has been overwhelming and has consumed a lot of me time. I want to be the best version of myself so I can be the best version of myself to you guys. To be the best leader, to be the best coworker, to be the best friend, to be the best listener, to be the best just person in general. You know what I mean? And I appreciate everybody at Berwyn's patience and understanding. That means a lot. People can easily give up on me, and people have. People have given up on me, have left me, have not understood, have not provided sympathy or empathy, which is fine. I don't blame them. I'm not holding any grudges. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. But I am more focused on the people that have stayed by my side. Instead of the people that have left me. Because if I focus on the people that have left me, I'm going to be like sad. And why do I want to waste my time being sad? I want to spend my time being grateful, and the people that have stood by me, I am sincerely and forever grateful and blessed. And, my mentality is those people will be rewarded. Those people will be taken care of, because that's who I am. As much as I like to focus on me, but I know I also do care about the people around me, and I want everybody around me to succeed and have an amazing life, and also be rewarded in every way possible. I want us to be happy, to be smiling, to be successful, to be hey, we made it. You know what I mean? And not even focus on hey, remember the times where it hit the fan and everything was chaos? No. Look at where we are now. Look at what so much we've accomplished. Look at how this branch is thriving, is amazing, is we're together and we didn't separate, and that's a goal of mine, and I want to be that leader where I lead, but we're also all being rewarded with our hard work.
Well said. Well said. What does success look like to you now compared to earlier in your career? I know you've been in the business a long time, so
You know what? Success is living. To me, is living life. Success is not being the number one loan officer, not closing $1 million, $1 billion a year in production. Yeah, that's fine and great and dandy. Don't get me wrong. But my success is living. Success is being happy. My success is getting my needs met. My success is enjoying my loved one. But doing things that fulfill my cup, doing things that bring joy to me. And don't get me wrong, I love lending. I love being a loan officer. I've been blessed now in a couple of months, 28 years. You know what I mean? And it's I love it. It's a passion that I have. To help people. I don't even consider it a job or work. It's something that I love to do. And my goal is hopefully one day. I mean, a lot's going to happen from now to the next couple of years or by the time I turn 50. It depends on where I'm at in my life, but my goal is to semi-retire, where I'm not, working so many hours a day, but I'm still working, you know what I mean? But I'm enjoying life more, and life is short. You never know. So you want to make sure you wake up every day to do what you love, and to love. Make sure you love, be kind, to people. I know people are going through a lot of things, and sometimes you might think people are being jerks or arrogant or whatnot. Don't pay too much attention to that. They might be going through something. It's okay. Just be kind to yourself. Don't let somebody shift your energy. If you are a positive person, if you are a happy person, a kind person, don't let anybody change that. Be yourself. So just be kind to other people, respect other people, and pray for them. Pray for them, and hopefully everybody heals. You know, everybody should be allowed to heal and be happy.
Yeah, people need room to grow.
Hmm.
What are you most proud of, not as a mortgage professional, I know that's a big part of your identity, but just as George, the person?
Oh, God made me. I'm a big believer in spirituality and whatnot, but I was told I was born with a star, and my purpose is to help people. My purpose is to be here for people. Not obviously not only for myself but for people. And I love that about me. I'm a Virgo, Earth sign. I like the ocean, but I'm very empathetic. I'm a great listener. We can talk for hours. I consider myself a good support person. People really, really have to get to know who George is. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm real. My intentions are real. I don't have a evil bone in my body. I'm not here to steal, rob from anybody. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm here to help. And if I can give you the shirt off my back, I will. If I can, give you my last meal, I will. I want people to be happy, and I have these conversations with a lot of close friends, and sometimes I say, I'm going to sacrifice my happiness so you can be happy. You know what I mean? I'll take that hit for you because I don't like to see you sad. I don't like to see you hurt. You know what I mean? But, I just try to be there for people, and that's my superpower. That's, is to be empathetic, to be a listener, to be there for people, and I want people to have confidence in me. What you tell me is gonna stick with me. I'm not out there to chismear. I'm not out there to judge. But I'm out there to listen and be empathetic and try to help as best as I can because I've learned a lot. For anybody that's watching us right now, I've had quite a journey, and I've had a lot of lessons learned. I have experienced life. So if you ever want to pick my brain, call me. Let's have some coffee. Let's sit by a beach and chat. We can talk. Obviously, for people that know me, I can talk. I can talk for hours, but I also can listen for hours. You know what I mean? So I'm not just a blabber, but I'm also can be a great listener as well.
And George's contact details will be down below.
Yes. We'll send a calendar link so you can reserve me so we can have a good conversation.
For George the therapist.
Hmm.
Um, what has starting over taught you about the people that you surround yourself with? I know you already touched on this briefly, but give us more deets.
What has it taught me about the people around me?
Yeah.
Who's real, who's not? Who's my ride or die or who's not? Who can stand by me or who will give up on me? Um, you know, um, but again, I don't hold any grudges. I'm not angry. I was, but that's because I didn't understand. But now I do. So, all the evil, anger, anything that was in my body has been released. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I'm not a robot. I'm not, I'm human. I do have some bad moments, but I check myself. And I check myself quick. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you angry? You know what it's doing to your body right now? I had this aura ring that tracked my stress levels, so I don't want to be stressed. I want to be calm, cool, and collective, the three C's, but yeah, and it's taught me that not everybody understands, which is okay. It takes a different individual to try to understand, people, try to understand people's lives, people's traumas, people's triggers. We all have them. We're all human. Nobody, even people that you think are living the best lives ever, are going through something or have some type of traumas, that either they don't discuss or you see in their anger, in their attitude, in their how they portray themselves or how they live in a bubble or how they're guarded, which, it's unfortunate. A lot of people can't control what happens in their childhood. A lot of people can't control what happens to them even in adulthood. You know what I mean? But if you start working on yourself and value your worth, you know what you can put up with and what you can't put up with. But back to the original question is the people that have stood by my side and haven't given up on me. That means a lot. That means a world to me. That means people believe in me. That means people are are patient with me. But like I said, people believe in me, and that means a lot. And I'm not going to let people down. I will not. Everybody that has believed in me and still continue to believe in me, I will not let you down. I promise. And I love you, but I will not let you down. And I'm a work in progress, but everybody that's been by my side and has supported me. We're either going to be on a beach in Mexico or we're going to be on a boat on the lake, and I'm going to be thanking everybody for not giving up on me, for believing in me, and for trusting my journey. And we're just going to be smiling, laughing, dancing, and just having an amazing time.
Sounds fun. If you could go back and tell George from 5 years ago one thing, what would it be?
Ooh, one thing. Wow, I have a list of a lot of things, but
Maybe a lot of things, yeah.
one thing. Patience, no fear. Don't be fearful. Ask questions. Write this down because I don't want to repeat it. I said no fear. Patience, empathy, understand or understanding. Uh, Listen and don't judge, and just be there for people. Don't be reactive. Unfortunately, there are bad people out there. Or you know what? I take that back. Everybody's good. They just do bad things. So don't be reactive to the negativity. Don't be more understanding. Have thick skin. I know it's not easy, but it's doable. Because you never know who you're sitting across, next to, behind, they're going through something. But I will tell George these again: no fear, patience, empathy, understanding, listen, don't judge, and love a lot, love a lot, love unconditional, and have more faith. Especially now with my faith being at the ultimate max, I see the blessings. Before I would just see the bad stuff. Now I'm so focused on all the blessings. I was like, wow, it just brings a smile to my face. You know what I mean? So that's what I would tell Josito from 5 years ago, to focus on those, and then the mental health, to seek therapy. Even if you think nothing's wrong with you and you think you're amazing, go seek therapy. It's okay. Just it gives you a better understanding of who you are.
Yeah, we all have room to grow for sure.
Mm-hmm.
On a lighter note, what's one thing you do just for you now? Something that brings you joy outside of work?
One thing.
Or
um,
some.
um, I'm not a winter guy, so I'm more of a summer guy. I love the heat. I could be in the desert, 110 degree heat. I'm okay. I can be in 80, 90 degree with humidity. I'm okay. As long as the sun is shining, I like to be out. I like to, go for walks, bike ride, spend time with my dog, swim. I like sports, so I like going to baseball games or any type of sporting activities. Um, Fortunately, I can't. I mean, I could, but there's not a lot of people to play with. Because a lot of people, my friends have families, and it's hard to get together at times. But I like playing basketball. I like playing softball. Even soccer, volleyball, anything that's active. Watch a good movie, positive movie, encouraging movie. I like to go to church. I like to journal. I used to like to journal a lot in my youth. I took a long hiatus, very long, but I'm glad I'm back. I'm back to doing that. And it's just being active. I want my heart to be pumping, you know what I mean? My heart racing, you know what I mean? So, and anything that involves water, ocean, jet skis, boat, swimming, just enjoying friends, talking, playing games, sitting in a fire pit, the club scene, all that stuff. Here and there, once in a while, if that, but no, I've been there, done that. It doesn't bring me joy. For those who are actually doing a lot of clubbing and partying, cool. But just a bit of advice: go to a club or some social outing sober. Do not drink and pay attention to the room. And then tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. Do not drink. Just be sober the whole night and let me know what you notice.
Social experiment.
Yep. Yep.
25 is the year of prioritizing our physical and mental health.
Yep. Amen.
If the new George had a theme song, what would it be?
Ooh. It would definitely have to be a very, very positive one. Right now, I mean, the only one that comes to mind, um, just because I've been listening to this album religiously, um, is a country singer, Morgan Wallen. I Got Better. That whole album was just released last month in May. And man, that if that doesn't win album of the year, man, what is wrong with y'all? And I can relate to probably 90% of those songs. But I Got Better is probably the one I would pick. I like Superman too. Superman's good because Superman at the end of the day is just a human. You know what I mean? Just like us. You know what I mean? And he's Superman. But yeah, I Got Better by him.
I knew you were gonna say that. What's your go-to? Well, tequila. Well, I was gonna ask, but I think we all know what your go-to tequila is. Not sponsored, but we should be.
I know. So if you guys are watching Spiritual Zero Proof Tequila, hit me up. I can brand market you everywhere.
Yeah.
But but I traded the tequila shots for these type of shots.
Immunity shot.
Yeah. It has uh turmeric, pineapple, vitamin C, probiotics. It's so good. So I take one daily, and those are the shots I'm taking now.
Well, following in that vein, um, what makes a great shot-worthy moment for you these days?
Sorry, shot. Happy moment shot. Like celebrate a good day, a clear close, celebrate a new friendship, celebrate a positive experience, celebrate great news, celebrate a milestone. You know what I mean? Um, all small wins are wins. So always write down all your small wins for the day. So that's why I'm so glad I'm journaling. It's a prayer and journal that I have, and it's a daily thing. So always, 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 always celebrate your small wins.
Amen. What's something people might be surprised to learn about you since this rebuild, this new era of George?
My patience, my patience and less anxious. My energy, is transforming to positive energy, not anxious energy. I want to I want to inspire, uplift people. I want when I walk into a room to have great energy. And I'm working tirelessly to achieve that. So I want to make sure that when I do walk in the room, it's nothing but positivity.
Amen. And finally, if you could raise a glass and give a toast to the next chapter of your life, what would you say?
I made it. I made it with all the doubts, all the criticism, with all the hurdles, with all the negativity, with all the just lack of self confidence, being lost, and that feeling I had before, and now killing all that energy and vibe and transforming it into nothing but positivity, and just being at peace is is a win. So, I'm gonna say not only I made it, but we made it. You know what I mean? Because there has been people around me to help. From professional to great loyal friends. We made it. Look at George. Look at him, and this is who you're gonna see for the rest of my life. And yeah, that would be my celebratory shot, and being grateful for people. Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations on your new era of life. I know on behalf of the entire Berwyn office, we're so happy for you.
Thank you. Means a
And
lot.
avid Tequila Talks fans know how we like to wrap up our episodes. Team George is sober,
Yes,
so we're prioritizing our health, like I said.
we should start doing ginger shots daily at the office. Anna, thank you so much. These questions were amazing. Thank you for taking the time. Immunity. Try it. If you haven't tried it, let me know. I'll do a shot with you. I just want to share this last message with everybody. Real talk. If you guys are struggling, if you guys are sad, hurt, lost, don't know where to go, don't know who to turn to, I'm here for you. You're not alone. God loves you. I am starting an emotional support group slowly because it is a commitment. But I am starting an emotional support group for people where we're going to meet. I'm still, ironing out the details, but I don't know if it's going to be a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing or twice a month, where a few of us get together and are there for each other. So I want to make sure that people that are out there struggling and have nowhere to turn to, I'm here. This group is here for you. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to be an emotional support group and details to follow, and I'm super 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 excited about that. So you're not alone, people. You are not alone. I am available. My phone number is public. Reach out. Text message, DM me, whatever. Don't be embarrassed. Do not be embarrassed. I've been through a lot myself, and I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to admit it, and I'm not ashamed to share it. So don't be ashamed. We're here for you.
Well, thank you so much for your vulnerability today. Everybody, go follow George and Team George. All our links will be down below. But yeah, thanks so
Thank you
much.
so much. Love you guys. Thank you, and you're not alone. Until the next one. Peace out. Adios. Arrivederci.